Hey guys, it's Scarlett back here with another free tutorial about how to make a budget printable for you guys. And so we're using the free version of Canva. So to start, let's go over to create a design and click on the US letter document. That'll make it so that you can create this printable and have it easily printed on your own plain paper. So what we're gonna do to start is create the title. So with the title, we'll go to text, add a heading here. And for this specific printable, it's going to be a budget for your year at a glance. So we'll put here year at a glance, of course, here. But I personally like the apricot's text. You can use, of course, whatever text you want, putting it here in the text box. You can type in calligraphy or whatever type of font that you are kind of looking for. But I'll go ahead and move this here and adjust it a little bit. So we need to make some of the rows and columns for this budget printable, if you will, so that you can track your income, expenses, debt, and whatnot. So I went ahead and looked up a rectangle or square here. I'm going to size it up to change it, and you'll notice I'll go in here and change the color. I specifically like doing it this way. You can do it whatever way that you want, but I changed the transparency to be a bit more transparent so that when you print it, you can write with any color, but you can still see the different borders between boxes, rows, columns, and whatnot. So what we'll go ahead and do here is I'll be making additional boxes. Now to copy and paste, what's really nice is you can just do Control C and Control V, C for copy and V for paste, and you can do that straight from your keyboard. So it makes it really easy here in Canva to make these rows and columns super fast, and you'll see here how that works in just a second. But I'm going ahead and making this first row here. You can go ahead and just highlight and boom, Control paste or copy paste. And so what I'll do again is just highlight everything, copy paste, boom, and you have even more rows. And what's nice is the more rows you make, then you can go ahead and copy all of it, Control paste. And so I'll go ahead and make all of my rows and columns here. And so, like I said, this year at a glance budget printable is one that you can personally make on your own with this free version of Canva. It's something that you can give as a freebie if you're a blogger or an influencer. And it's something that's really nice that if you are into Etsy sales, you can also create for free and then sell on Etsy. But I figured I'd make this since I'm all about giving printables and show you guys how I make my printables so you can do it on your own. So I'll go ahead, and what I'm doing here is I'm just trying to line everything up to make it all look really good. And once I have it in the alignment that I like, copy paste and make another big bunch of these rows and columns here. So like I said, since it is a year at a glance, I want to go ahead and make it January through December. But first, let's make our headings that are on to allocate to each column. So here, the first one we're going to put is income. And so I just did the default font. You can obviously do whatever you choose, but what's really nice, all those little purple lines, they show up there to make it so that you can know where your alignment is in the boxes and to make sure everything is really symmetrical. It makes it super, super easy to make these. So what I'm going to go ahead and do, like I did with everything else, copy paste, go ahead and make it so that we have all of our labeled columns. So our first column is the income. Our second column that we want to track on for our budget are the expenses, total expenses throughout your year. And then the third column that I like to track is the savings. And then the last one is how much debt that you have paid off during the year, especially if you're in your debt-free journey. So moving on, labeling each of these rows here. Like I said before, we're going to be labeling one for each month. So this is essentially your totals for that year so that you can obviously come back and look at your year at a glance. So we put January, February, and as you had seen earlier, I can just go ahead and copy them and then paste to make it so that you don't have to just keep individually making them on their own, all these little titles. So I'm just going to go ahead and make these here. All right, so I'll go ahead and finish labeling the rows here for the rest of the year. And so this printable is one that is really nice to have for any of us if you are someone who likes printable trackers, just to be able to look back at your year to see how you've done in total. And so real quick, I'm going to go ahead and make sure things are nice and aligned and symmetrical. That's always important. But what we'll do is look at this area down here. So I want to make another text area for goals. I always like tracking goals. So we'll go ahead and make an area here for goals, and then I'll make some lines. So to make lines, we'll go to elements, and then we go to the main area called lines, of course. I'll take this lines down here, and I don't like the big thick lines, and so I'll show you here how to change that. Let's go up to the line height, and I put in 2 here. It doesn't matter necessarily, but 2 is a good amount in regard to the width of those lines. And so let me go ahead, I just copy paste and put in more lines, highlight, copy paste. And then here, that way, if there's any big goals you have throughout your year, you can have those on your year at a glance just to see how maybe you've been doing throughout the year with those goals. But now what I want is to add my branding. So if you're someone who is selling this product or giving it away as a freebie or some sort of printable on an article, you might want to put your website. So what I do here is just adjust it a tiny bit to make it so that my website is on there. And I always like to make the transparency a little bit less, but here you can see that you can easily add your branding. So when people download your printable, your branding is on there. But let's go look at what it looks like in total. So this is our year at a glance printable here. So that was a really quick way to be able to put together our printable, something free under 10 minutes that you can make to give as a printable to sell or whatever you choose, or even just use on your own. So you can go down here and download your PDF print, download it, and boom, you've literally got it. So hopefully you like this video. Go check out some of the other ones that I have. And thanks for watching, you guys.